Hi, everyone. This is Maheen, and welcome to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. Today, we are exploring the strategic implementation of integrated data driven marketing transformations, authentic cultural insights modeling, and localized brand positioning for commercial enterprises. Because in 2026, engaging a modern audience across Canada requires moving past traditional advertising to build experiential customer connections, community driven touchpoints, and highly responsive operational workflows. Joining us is Björn Bruschke, the VP of Marketing and Insurance at TD Bank Group. Björn is a premier financial services marketing executive with over 15 years of senior leadership experience overseeing property and casualty portfolios, managing multi-million dollar growth initiatives, and directing national marketing organizations across top-tier institutions. So there's lots to uncover and unpack. Without a further ado, let's dive in and welcome Björn. Björn, it's a pleasure having you on the show with us this morning. Welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Doing so well. Thank you so much for having me, Maheen.
Very pleased to have you. Now, Bjorn, let's open a discussion by tapping into authentic cultural insights. Many businesses they structure their ad spend entirely around generic promotional offers, completely missing the fact that the strongest consumer relationships are forged when a brand authentically taps into real lived community experiences. Tell us, how can organizations uncover authentic cultural insights to create high performing campaigns?
Yeah, you know what? It can be such a simple approach, really. I'd say some of the most impactful campaigns that I've seen, that I've been a part of, and that we've just delivered to market, they just start very simply by observing a real human behavior or a real human truth. These aren't trends, fleeting moments, but it's really rituals that people participate in. So, how do you make sure that you really tap into those moments, that you observe them, that you capture that insight, and then see how your brand can then actively participate in a way that taps in, I would say, at an emotional level, but then at a functional level that gives you the right to participate there.
Mhm. That is a crucial perspective because it is amazing how much brand equity you can build when your marketing mirrors the genuine traditions and the day-to-day interactions of your target demographic. That takes us to another topic. Now let's explore how small and medium enterprises can participate in these global cultural moments without a massive corporate budget. Bjorn, how can SMEs participate in major global sporting events locally without huge budgets?
So what I love about this is, process is universal. That's the way I kind of look at it as a marketer. So whether you're part of a big wonderful brand like TD, or whether you're an SME, it's the process that really makes a difference. And what I mean by that is it's very simple. So I mentioned it before. You always start with the customer. So don't start with the moment, start with the customer. So what does that mean? More concretely speaking, it's, what do your customers care about right now? What conversations are they already having? And there's tools that you can use, like just social listening, Google Trends, other things that are at our disposal. So that starts there. So start with your customer, I would say. The second is choose the right cultural moment. You don't want to participate in all moments. You need to know your brand. Say, where does it make sense for us to play? Where does it make sense for us to not play? So that's where it's really important to understand, like, who you are as a brand, what's your persona, what's your purpose, what's your promise, because you don't want to participate across the board. So choose the right cultural moment. Then I would
Mhm.
say make it relevant to your brand. And I'd say this is really the differentiator. As an SME, is know who you are, what's your angle, how can you enhance that experience and not interrupt it? Because as part of a cultural moment, you want to make sure that you're not interrupting that great experience that maybe consumers are having, but that you're really uh, having a role in enhancing that. And then I would say the other thing that's beautiful from an SME point of view is you can execute very simply and quickly. So it doesn't need to be a massive campaign like you might see at TD. It can be something that's super quick. It's a quick hit. It could be an organic post. It can be an activation in your community, or something that's much more organic in nature. And then I would say use your community, not necessarily media spend. So how do you actually engage with your customers that they become your voice? So if I could just wrap it up, start with your customer, not the moment. Choose the right moment, make it relevant to your brand, execute quickly and simply. It's an advantage that SMEs have, and then amplify that through your community and through your clients ultimately.
That's a fantastic point because leveraging the organic celebration energy of our immediate community really allows a local brand to outmaneuver rigid corporate ad placements every single time. So thank you for sharing the tip there. Now let's pivot to the mechanics of your latest campaign and look at how a personal passion for soccer can lead to highly successful corporate marketing. Tell us, what is the strategy behind the Horn Repair Goodwill campaign, and how did your soccer background shape it?
Yeah, so it's I'll talk about that a little bit later. But personally, I'm a big soccer fan, and that's actually why my voice is a bit hoarse. I had the opportunity to go to the Germany Ivory Coast game here in Toronto on Saturday, and I'm still paying the price for it today.
Oh,
But I'll talk about that in a moment. So I'd say the strategy was very simple. So actually, let me talk to you a little bit about what is the TD Insurance Horn Repair Goodwill Reimbursement Campaign. Think of it as almost like a quasi insurance for your horn, or a horn insurance. So what we did is we wanted to connect to a real observable fan ritual. So we all know massive soccer or football moment, depending on the word that you use in Canada right now and across the globe. But obviously, because we're hosting a massive tournament right now, there's this opportunity to connect with fans in a way that's really helpful and human and timely. So what we did is we decided that our way in with fans is, we know that we celebrate wins, and you can see it on the streets of Toronto, with by honking our horns. So very simply, the insight is simple. In sports, honking your horn is a global post-win ritual. And how can TD show up here? We can show up and be there to support you. That if your horn breaks, we'll be there to cover the repair. And the proof in that is that during a limited time period, during this soccer tournament that we're living right now, TD Insurance customers can get up to $150 for their horn repair. So very simple insight, very simple tension, and we're then showing up in a very real and tangible way. And we're activating that through a marketing strategy that has very hyper localized media creative as well, to make sure that we're connecting with fans, to let them know about this wonderful program through digital out of home, through amplified digital placements, and even radio. So it's really an opportunity for us to connect with fans, communicate that, and have it run during the tournament period right up until the middle of July. And we know that like 68% of Canadians are planning to watch this massive tournament that we're hosting right now, so they can actually have the opportunity to get exposed to this wonderful program through that relevant media, and then take action. And then the other way that we did it as well was through a more, we'll call it like a fun way to connect with customers, that you can actually show up to one of our TD Insurance auto centers in Richmond Hill this Wednesday and have your horn checked for free. And if you pass the test, then you'll actually get some really fun football or soccer merch.
right. That's valuable advice, because taking a localized everyday ritual like celebrating celebratory car honking and reframing it through a helpful insurance lens, it turns standard risk management into a memorable brand asset. Now let's shift our focus to the larger picture and analyze the evolving operational role of a brand during times of rapid market change. Bjorn, how do you balance performance marketing with long-term brand building for sustained growth?
So it's a super question. It's something that marketers, we talk about all the time. So very simply put, I'll say that I believe that everything is performance marketing. So whether you're building your brand or whether you're trying to drive a sale, whatever business that may be. So for me, it's really looking at your entire ecosystem. Your brand advertising is what really taps into that more emotional desire. So why should I love this brand is kind of like that's what brand or upper funnel advertising is answering. And then your lower funnel advertising is really that after I love this brand and you interest me, then give me a reason to believe more functionally at a product level why I should buy with your brand. So the way we really look at it is twofold. It's how do we make sure that we're investing at the right level of our mass market or advertising, mass marketing opportunities, to make sure that we're driving that future consideration, so that when someone is ready to shop, they're in your consideration set, and then they're ready to buy with you. So it's really balancing that future consideration, that brand love, with those more functional product attributes that then drive selection a little bit lower in the purchasing funnel.
No, Bjorn, that is an incredibly important reminder, because treating brand building as a continuous long-term asset rather than a temporary expense is exactly how we can insulate our market share from shifting digital
Absolutely.
trends. Um, Now let's explore the operational execution side of things and really talk about turning these grand creative ideas into measurable company performance. Tell us what framework helps translate high level marketing strategy into flawless operational execution.
Yeah, I would say it really varies by campaign. So for this one, it was really a quick hit. I would say we acted very, very quickly for the horn repair program. We said, okay, how can we operationalize this, even in a big organization like TD, but working together with our business partners to say, how do we get this through from start to finish in a way that is frictionless and really simple from a client perspective. So sometimes even in a big organization like TD, you look at ways that you can deliver that with speed and simplicity. So I say that's the first thing. Make sure that whatever you're executing is then we're able to deliver on the promise so that it's easy for our customers. So I'd say that's the first thing, and this was a great example of that. Second, what I'd say, be really, really clear and intentional about what it is that you're trying to drive. So are you trying to drive brand preference? Are you trying to drive brand trust? Is it more awareness? Is it consideration? Is it all of the above? So being really deliberate and clear as to what it is, what OKR or what KPI it is that you're driving towards, so that you know then after the campaign that you can run post-test results, post-test tracking and measurement to make sure that you're actually delivering on those results. So I'd say make sure that the experience is seamless and flawless and frictionless from a customer perspective. Be really clear on what those OKRs or KPIs are. And then three, make sure that you have the right measurement plan in place so that you can measure yourself against those objectives that you gave yourself at the beginning of the campaign and execution.
Mhm. Well, that's an excellent piece of advice because ensuring that every single member of your operational pipeline understands the ultimate goal is what separates high performing organizations from, unfortunately, the struggling ones. But this has been a great conversation. Although we had short amount of time, but we covered a lot into how do we really translate strategic vision into execution. How do we redefine the modern role of brand equity and really understand the strategic power of the Horn Repair Initiative and really relate to it in ways that we can. Um, as we wrap up, Bjorn, what is your single best advice for optimizing an integrated marketing plan this quarter?
Optimizing an integrated marketing plan, I would say stay focused and be deliberate. Know your brand and where you'll drive value, and then drive all of your actions and tactics against that, and make sure then you have the right measurement plan in place.
That is an exceptional reminder that true business resilience it really requires combining rigorous data-driven analytics with real human-centric cultural insights to capture long-term loyalty. Thank you so much, Bjorn, for joining us and for sharing such great insights and your expertise today. Thank you.
Thanks, Beans. Thanks so much for having me.
And listeners, that was Bjorn Bruschke from TD Bank Group, showing us how to uncover authentic local insights, enable small businesses to win during massive cultural moments, and really merge brand strategy with data-driven execution pipelines in 2026. Thank you for tuning in. Please learn more of how we're supporting the ecosystem by visiting our website, smbfoundation.ca. And a special thanks before we leave to UPS and ADP for their ongoing commitment to empowering small businesses across Canada. Join us next week as we explore our next critical business topic. Until next time, please keep innovating and keep growing. Thank you.